सत्सङ्गत्वे निस्सङ्गत्वं निस्सङ्गत्वे निर्मोहत्वं निर्मोहत्वे निश्चलतत्वं निश्चलतत्वे जीवन्मुक्तिः पुनरपि जननं पुनरपि मरणं पुनरपि जननी जठरे शयनम् इह संसारे बहुदुस्तारे कृपया पारे पाहि मुरारे।
सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। यत्सम्भवम् अण्डस्यान्तस्य मे लोका सप्तद्वीपा च मेदिनी क्षेत्रज्ञं चापि मां विद्धि सर्वक्षेत्रेषु भारत क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञयोः ज्ञानं यत्तज्ज्ञानं मतं मम। For this second shloka of the 13th chapter, there is a lengthy commentary, and we have been on it for the last few classes, and it is still not over. There is much more to go. So the argument now taken up is ननु एवं सति संसार संसारित्वाभावे शास्त्रानर्थक्य दोषः शास्त्रानर्थक्यादि दोषः स्यादिति चेत् न सर्वैः अभ्युपगतत्वात्. So if we propose that Brahman and Jiva are non-different, then since Brahman does not have samsara at all, and Jiva also is not to be admitted to have samsara because of this, then the scripture which is there to help the bound persons to come out of samsara, that scripture itself will be simply redundant. It won't have any use at all. So that is the defect that is being pointed out in this scheme where the Jiva and Brahman are non-different. Evam sati samsara samsaritva abhave. There is no samsara at all because Brahman does not have samsara, and Jiva is non-different from Brahman. So there is no samsara for Jiva at all. And since Brahman is not a samsari, Jiva is also not samsari because Jiva is non-different from Brahman. There is no samsari at all. So the shastram that is there with the understanding, basic understanding that there is samsara and there is a samsari and there is a way to come out of it, that shastram will not have any use at all. So that is a defect. Then for that the reply is sarvaihi abhipagatatvat. No, it is not just me that is the one who is proposing the Jiva Brahma Aikyam. Even others also have admitted that this Shastra Anarthakyam will not, the dosha will not be there for them also. Those people who do not accept the Jiva Brahma Aikyam, even for them, if you say that this defect is for me, you will have to say that it is for them also, but then they have not accepted it as a defect at all. So for me also, it won't be a defect at all. So that is what is proposed, and that is being explained now. Sarvaihi atmavadibihi abhipagataha doshaha na ekena parihartavyah bhavati. Atmavadi means everybody who is, whether he is a Dvaitin or an Advaitin, everybody accepts an Atman, and everybody accepts Bandha and Moksha and all that. So if this defect is not going to be for them, because they don't accept the Jiva Brahma Aikyam, why should you say that this defect is on me alone, who is accepting the Jiva Brahma Aikyam? And he is explaining it further. Katham abhipagataha iti. How do you say that the Dvaitins have also accepted this situation? How do you say that? Muktanam hi samsara samsaritva vyavahara abhavaha sarvaireva atmavadibihi ishyate. So all those who accept an Atman and samsara, moksha and all that, they have all accepted that for those in liberation, that is muktas, for them that samsara and samsaritva vyavahara. That vyavahara is not there in the state of mukti. Everybody has accepted that. If you are going to say that in the state of mukti also there is samsara and samsari, then they don't be mukti at all. So even for them, that samsara, samsari, that vyavahara will not be there in the mukti, in the state of mukti. Tesham shastranarthakyadi dosha prapti abhivagata. They have not accepted that this defect is there for them. Tata naha kshetrajnanam ishvaraikatve sati shastra anarthakyam bhavato avidya vishaye cha arthavatvam. So if you say that this defect is there for me, on me, that is when in the situation where Jiva and Brahman are one alone, that is not different, then I will give a reply that this avidya vishaye cha arthavatvam. The shastram will be quite in place and meaningful in the state of bondage, that is the state where there is ignorance. Yatha dvaitinam sarvesham bandhavastayameva shastradi arthavatvam na muktavastha. So I have got a similarity with them. Even for them, the shastram will be of use only in the state of bondage and not in the state of liberation. So in the same way, even I will say that the shastram is definitely useful in the state of avidya, and when the avidya is gone, shastram is of no use at all. So this is the reply the Siddhantin gives. Then there is another question, objection taken up by the opponent. Mano atmanaha bandhamuktavaste paramarthataha eva vastubhute dvaitinam sarvesham. So he is saying that all the Dvaitavadins, they have accepted that the state of bondage and the state of liberation both are absolute. So this is the one very important distinction he is showing, that they are not like you Advaitins. All the Advaitins have accepted that the state of bondage and the state of liberation both are absolutely real. Ataha heyopadeya tat sadhana sadbhave shastradi arthavatvam yasyat. So since the state of bandha and moksha, where there is the situation of accepting something or rejecting something, this kind of thing is there. So as long as this is there, definitely the shastra will have to be accepted, and it will be meaningful in a situation where there is the duality of accepting and rejecting. So shastram is the one which will give the solution for that. And since they have all accepted that bandha and moksha both are absolutely real, shastram will be definitely meaningful in their case. But then not in your case. He is saying further, advaitinam punaha dvaitasya aparamarthatvate avidyakritatvate bandhavastayascha atmanaha aparamarthatve kshetvate. So he is saying that in the case of Advaitins, since Dvaitam is aparamartham, that is, it is unreal. Aparamartham means it is unreal. It is not absolutely real, but it is only relatively real, which boils down to saying that it is unreal. And it is due to avidya. Dvaita is a situation which has arisen out of avidya. Avidya kritattvate bandhavasthayascha atmanaha arthatve nirvishetvate. So in the bandhavastha, if the bandhavastha is for the atman, is aparamartha, that is, if it is unreal, there is no vishaya at all for the shastram. That is, there is no subject matter at all for the shastram, and atman will be free in truth. Even in the state of bandha, atman is really really free. That is, it is ever free. Atman is really ever free. So this in the state of bandha, because it is due to avidya, the shastram is definitely of no use in the state of avidya also. That is the situation you are going to face. That's what he is on the Advaita. It is then the Advaitin, the Siddhantin, he gives a reply, na. Atmanaha avastha bhedanupattehe. No, you cannot say that there is a bandha avastha for the Atman and the moksha avastha for the Atman, because for the Atman, you cannot have two states at all. Definitely you can't have two states at all. Avastha veda anupattehe. Yadi tavat atmanaha bandha mukta avasthe yogakat syatam pramena va. Now he is taking up that question for analysis. There are two options available. The states of bandha and moksha, are you proposing that the states of bandha and moksha are happening in a simultaneous way or in a sequential way? That is, bandha and moksha, they are there simultaneously, or they happen in a sequential way. So Yugapat Tavati Virodhat na Sambhavataha Sthitagati Iva Ekasmin. You cannot say that it is Bandha and Moksha are simultaneously there. Such a situation cannot be there at all because it is impossible. Like he is giving an example, Sthitagati Iva Ekasmin. In one object, you cannot accept both. There can't be both motion and static. So you can't say the object is stationary and in motion at the same time. So that is an impossibility. So in the same way, Bandha and Moksha cannot be there for the Atman simultaneously. Kramabhavitve cha nirnimittatve animoksha prasangaha. If you say that they happen in a sequential way, without any cause, uncaused bandha or uncaused moksha cannot be accepted. So there has to be a cause for bandha and there has to be a cause for moksha. So if you say that first bandha is there and after moksha is there, you have to say that what is the cause for bandha and what is the cause for moksha. So that is the defect he is proposing. He might have it replied, but even that will be attacked. So anyamittatve cha swataha abhavate paramarthatva prasangaha. So if you say that something else other than bandha is causing it, then since bandha avastha is not, that is Atman will not have that defect in itself, then you cannot say that, you will have to say that, you will have to ultimately accept that bandha is caused because of something else which is not in the Atman, and definitely it is not real, because the idea is the cause of bandha, if you say avidya, and if you say that avidya is in the Atman, that has been refuted already, Atman cannot have avidya. So if you say that there is something else, that is avidya is something which is other than the Atman, outside the Atman, then you have to accept that it will be aparamartha. That is, anything that is coming to the Atman from or elsewhere will have to be definitely not real. So it is something like the rope. The state of being a snake is unreal because the snake has been superimposed. It is not in the surupam of the rope at all. So if the superimposed snake will not have any real effect on the rope at all. So in the same way here also, it will not have any effect at all on the Atman. So aparamartha prasangaha. So then what will happen? The bandha avastha will have to be accepted to be aparamartha, that is unreal. Tatacha sati abhyapakata gamahanihi. If that is the case, then what you have said that the bandha avastha and moksha avastha both are paramarthically real for them, that claim itself will become so weak, because you cannot do that, make that claim at all, because bandha cannot be a natural state of the Atman. If it is accepted that it is coming from somewhere else, then since it is not a natural state of the Atman, it will be aparamarthika only. So what you say that by bandha and moksha are both paramarthika, that will not hold water at all. Then kincha bandhamukta avastayoho paurvaparya nirupanayam bandhavastha purvam prakalpya anadimati antavati cha tacha pramana viruddham. Then in the two states, between those two states of bandha and moksha, bandha will have to precede, and it will have to be admitted to be anadi, and it will have to have an end. So something which does not have a beginning at all, an end will not be there at all logically. So if you say that it's anadi bandha, but it will come to an end because moksha has to be accepted, then that will be against any pramana, because something which is anadi in real terms can never come to an end in real terms at all. So that is the subtle idea hidden in this argument. So if you accept something as anadi and which with no cause at all, then it can never come to an end at all. So that is the situation. But then if you accept that it will come to an end, then that is pramana viruddha. Tatha mokshavastha anadimati, then mokshavastha will have to be admitted to be with a beginning and ananta, and because nobody will wish the mokshavastha to come to an end. So he will have to definitely accept it as something which will not have an end at all. But in this case, what happens? bandha is also real, moksha is also real, then bandha itself will not come to an end. And in case you are going to accept a moksha which is real, then that moksha will have a starting point. And anything which with a starting point will definitely come to an end. Janyam tad anityam. So this problem will be there if you accept moksha to be having a beginning. And if moksha avastha is also real. So that is this Siddhantin is cornering the opponent. Tata moksha avastha and adimati. If moksha avastha has to have a beginning, anything that has a beginning will have to end. But then nobody will wish the moksha avastha to come to an end. But in this situation, by force, it will have to be have an end at all, because it is not something which is real. Then viruddha eva abhirvamyate. So if you say that the moksha avastha has a beginning, and then at the same time say that it will not end, then that also is against any pramana. Nacha avasthavataha avasthantaram gachataha nityatvam upapadaitam shakyam. So the problem is here that the something which is having a state, that is avasthavatvam is a state. So if you say that the Atman has two states, one is the bandhavastha and the mokshavastha, then if the Atman has to go from one avastha to another avastha, one state to another state, then nityatvam cannot be said to be for the Atman, because, for example, the body, which is now in the state of childhood, it will grow into adulthood. So this body which is undergoing change, everybody accepts that because it is undergoing change only, it is not nityam. Because it will end, another state will come, and that state will put an end to the body and wholesome. So here, in the same way, if Atman were to pass on from one avastha to another avastha, that Atman cannot be accepted to be nityam at all, because anything which is having vikara, that is passing from one state to another state, that is admitted to be anityam. So Atman cannot be of a nityam nature, because it is undergoing change from one state to another state, from the state of bondage to the state of liberation. Atha anityatva dosha pariharaya bandhamuktaavastha vedo न कल्प्यते अतः द्वैतिनामपि शास्त्रानर्थक्यादि दोषः अपरिहार्यः एव इति समानत्वात् न अद्वैतिवादिना परिहार्यः दोषः. Then if you are going to say that in order to escape the situation that where Atman is anityam, if you are going to give some means by which you can escape this situation, then bandhamuktaavasthayo vedo na kalpyate. Then if you are going to give up the state of bandha and moksha as different states, then that is two states for the Atman. If you are going to give up that, then ataha dvaitanamapi shastranarthakyadi dosha apariharya eva. Then in the case of Dvaitins also, the defect of the shastram becoming redundant can't be. They can also, in their case also, they can't give a reply to this, or they cannot settle this, or they cannot escape this defect. It is samanatvat advaitavadina parihar. So then you have to accept a situation where even the Dvaitins cannot overcome this problem. If you say that the problem is only for me, then the problem is for them also. So both of us are in the same level. And you cannot say that only the Advaitins are their situation, their system alone is defective. So this argument also has been of the opponent has been replied by the Siddhanti. Going further, nacha shastra anarthakyam yatha prasiddha avidvat purusha vishayatvad shastrasya. Then shastram cannot be of no use at all totally, because yatha prasiddha avidvat purusha vishayatvat shastrasya. Shastram is there only for a person who is ignorant and to enlighten him. So shastram is definitely not anarthakam for us also, for Advaitins also, because it is there definitely relevant in the state of avidya. Yatha prasiddha avidvat purusha vishayatvat shastrasya. So the candidate for a shastram is someone who is ignorant, and the shastram is there only to enlighten him. So avidusham hi palahitvoho anatmanoho atmadarshanam na vidusham. Vidusham hi palahitvyam atmanah anyatva darshane sati tayoho ahamiti atmadarshana anupatehe. So avidusham hi palahitvoho anatmanoho Atmadarshanam na vidusham. That is, in the case of ignorant persons only, they have taken the anatman, that is the two pair, the pairs of fruit and the cause, that is the cause and effect. This cause and effect, that pair is admitted to be of one's own true nature, which is actually anatman. That is, in the case of the ignorant persons, they do not realize that they are not aware that their own atman, they themselves are purnam. In their case, what has happened is, because of avidya, they think that there is some cause and there is some effect which has to be attained through some cause, and these two are actually not in the Atman itself. So they do not know that, but they have taken them to be, they have taken the cause and effect to be a swarupam, their own swarupam. No vidusham, but the enlightened people have not done that. No, they don't have that defect. So they have realized that there is no cause and effect because they themselves are purnam. So vidusham hi palahetubhyam atmanaha anyatva darshane sati tayoho ahamiti atmadarshana anupattehe. For those who are enlightened, for them the cause and effect, these two are definitely known by them as anatman. So they don't have the they are not in the state of Brahma, that is, they are not in the state of illusion that the cause and effect are their own surupam. So in their case, they have escaped that. So for them, tayoho ahamiti atmadarshana anupattehe. For them, the cause and effect cannot be there for them at all because they have come out of that illusion. Nahi atyanta mudaha unmattadirapi jalagneyoho Chaya Prakashayoho va aikatmyam pashyati. So he's giving an example. Even an extremely dull person, he will not Unmatta is something who is a person who can't think for himself. He is so dull that even he Jalagniyoho Chaya Prakashayoho va aikatmyam pashyati. Even he will not see the there is an aikyam between Jala and Agni, that is water and fire. Chaya Prakasha Yorva, that is Chaya is shelter or that is darkness, Prakasha is light. So even they will not see them to be one. Kimuta Viveki. So then even person who can't think for himself will not take these two opposites to be one. How can an enlightened person have this kind of error at all? Tasmat na vidipratisheda shastram tavate palahetubhyam atmanaha anyatra darshinaha bhavati. So for a person who is very clearly discriminating between Atman and Anatman and seeing that the cause and effect, that duality is there only in the Anatman, for such a person, definitely this illusion will not be there at all. That is, Vidi Pratyasheda is, Vidi is the injunction and Pratyasheda is prohibition. So the Shastram is full of injunctions and prohibitions. So naturally, a person who is having this discrimination that through cause and effect and all that are not in the Atman, for him, the Pratyasheda Shastram will be not relevant at all. Nahi Devadattaha Tvam Idam Kuru iti Kasminshite Karmani Niyukte Vishnumitraha Aham Niyuktaha iti Tatrastaha Niyogam Shunmanapi Pratipadyate. So he is giving a situation where there are two persons, that is Devadatta and Vishnumitra, and both of them are hearing an injunction and or a prohibition being spoken to them. So Nahi Devadattaha Tvam idam kuru iti kashmisit karman niyukte. When the Shastram is or somebody is asking Devadatta to do something, you do this. The Vishnumitra who is there, he will not think that, okay, I am being instructed and he will start doing that. No, he will not do that. Tatrastaha niyogam shunmanapi pratipadyate. Viyoga vishaya viveka agrahanattu upapadyate pratipattihi tatha palahetvorapi. But then, if the person who is Vishnumitra is not a person who is with discrimination, he might take the instruction for Devadatta to be instruction for him. So since this is a case where the Shastram is asking a person to do something and asking a person to abstain or refrain from something. But then the candidate for that doing and returning will be a person who is in ignorance only, but not a person who has come out of ignorance. So that is the idea in this analogy. Tata Palaheturapi, in the same way, the case of cause and effect also will be there for the Shastra. The Shastra will be instructing cause and effect, but then there is cause is the means and the end. That's what has to be said. The means will be like, for example, the Agnihotram and all that, and effect will be, end will be Swarga. But then a person who is considering himself as Apurna, he might take that and go further, but then not a person who realizes himself to be Purna Brahman. So in this way, that Shastra Anarthakya dosha will be not touching the Advaitin at all, and even the Dvaitins also, it won't be affecting them. So that's what has been clearly stated by the Siddhanta. Then another question comes up. Nano prakrita sambandha pekshaya yuktaiva pratipattihi shastra artha vishaya palahetubhyam anyatma vishaya darshane api sati इष्टफलहेतौ प्रवर्तितः अस्मि अनिष्टफलहेतौश्च निवर्तितः अस्मि इति यथा पितृपुत्रादीनाम् इतरेतरात्म आत्मा अन्यत्वदर्शने सत्यपि अन्योन्य नियोग प्रतिषेधार्थ प्रतिपत्तिः. So now he is another question is being taken up. Prakrita sambandha apekshaya, that is, the sambandha is something which is because of some ignorance. There is a basis itself, there is ignorance, and that this kind of relationship is there. We do say this kind of relationship in the world. Prakriti sambandha apekshaya yuktaiva pratipattihi shastrartha vishaya. So because of this, a person can definitely think that the shastram is instructing him. Yuktaiva pratipattihi shastrartha vishaya palahetubhyam anyatma vishaya darshane api. So even if he is saying that the cause and effect are not in him, in such case also, there can be this kind of a mistake where the person thinks himself to be a candidate for the injunctions or prohibitions. Ishtapalaheto pravartitaha asmi, anishtapalaheto osya nivartitaha asmiti. So a person can definitely see that I am being asked to do something which is to my liking, and I am also being asked to be refrain from something which is not good for me. So there is some Shastra is holding out something as good for a person and something which is not good for a person, and it is giving an instruction or a prohibition. So what is the problem there? Nivartitaha smriti. So a person can definitely act according to the Shastra. What is the problem here? Yatha, so he is giving an example. Pitruputradinam itaretara anyatma darshane, anyatmatva darshane satyati. So there is a father and the son. Both of them know that they are different from each other. The son recognizes his father to be father, and the father also recognizes son to be different from him, and having that relationship. Darshane satyapi anyonya niyoga pratishedhartha pratipattihi. So here, anyonya niyoga pratishedhartha. So a person can definitely know very well that if there's an instruction, the father can definitely know that the son is being instructed, and the son also can definitely know that the father is not being instructed and I am being instructed. So this kind of a perception can definitely exist. So when this situation is proposed, the Siddhanta says, na vetirikta atma darshana pratipattehe prageva palahetvoho atma. Here, vetirikta atma darshana pratipattehe prageva. That is, even before the perception that the instructions are all different from him and they are all for a different candidate, even before that, the palahetvoho atma vimanasya siddhatvat. Palahetvo is the means and ends. There, in that, there can be this atma vimanam is always there. So even if certain part of the shastram is very clearly perceived by them, certain other parts are not perceived by them in the same way. So there can be a situation where delusion is there, and that is ruling here. So this situation is there. So nobody can escape this situation unless he accepts avidya. So pratipanna niyoga pratishedhartho hi palahetubhyam atmanaha anyatvam pratipadyate na pur. So pratipanna niyoga pratishedartha hi palahetuvyam. That is the palam and hetu, that is the cause and effect. These two are there for the Atman only in the case of ignorance, and Atmanaha anyatvam pratipadyate na. So a person will recognize this only at the state of enlightenment and not in the state of ignorance. Tasmat vidipratisheda shastram avidvadvishayam iti siddham. So the shastram which is giving injunctions and prohibitions, it is having the candidate who is an ignorant person and not a candidate who is enlightened. So it is very clear that the shastram is there operating in the level of ignorance only and not in the state of enlightenment. And this particular aspect Bhagavad Gita has clearly stated in the Adhyasa Bhashya itself. There he says that Vidhi Pratisheda Shastram and even the Moksha Shastram, they are all operating only in the state of avidya, where a person is taking himself to be the body-mind complex. So only for such a person, the Vijayapratisheda Shastram will be relevant because he has taken himself to be the body-mind complex. So he takes that Vijay and Pratishedam are for him. And even the Moksha, the Swarga, the Shastram which is instructing him to undergo or to perform some things which will take him to Swarga, even there is ignorance. And even in the case of Moksha Shastram also, which has come to liberate him, a person gets into the Moksha Shastram only with the idea that he is bound. But in truth, he is not bound at all. So that with that kind of foregone conclusion, Bhagavad Gita makes a bold statement. Even Moksha Shastram is operating in the level of or in the domain of ignorance alone. So here next there is another topic taken up. We will take it up in next class. Nano Swargakamo Yajeta Na Kalanyam Bhakshayet Ityadau Atmavetirikta Darshinam Apravartau Keval Dehadya Atma Drashtinam Cha. So he is taking a topic which is somewhat related to this topic that we have discussed now, but somewhat different also. So we will take this up in the next class and try to understand them. Dandam Abhyakta Sambhavam Achamedini Shastram Sharira Mimamsa Devastu Parameshwaraha Acharya Shankaracharya Santume Janma Janmani Agniya Sampannam Vetaradam Vivekinam Vantantatatvagnam Vitushekara Bharati.